that he would like to see a few code changes made. The reason to bring this to you is to see if you would like to direct me to draft what he has proposed into ordinance. But for the most part, what Mr. Patel is proposing is that in our single-family minimum lot areas, he's proposing to reduce the square footage of the minimum lots from 10,000 square feet to 4,000 square feet. For two-family dwellings, from 12,000 to 8,000 square feet. And in addition to that, he would also like to reduce the minimum lot width that you have to have on a public road. For single-family dwellings, he'd like to reduce that from 75 to 40 feet. For two-family dwellings, he'd like to reduce that from 75 to 30 feet each. And then in addition to that, rear yard for single family and two family dwellings, he'd like to reduce that setback from 30 to 15 feet. So what you can kind of gather here, he's trying to get the zoning ordinance to allow him to build smaller lots to get a little more dense in his proposed development. And just so you have a backstory of how this would go about, if we decide to move forward with all these code changes, he would have to, of course, come back to you in order to change his master plan around. Like for us to look into is to adding ADUs or accessory dwelling units into our zoning ordinance for the MUTND ordinance. And the best way to describe these are mother-in-law suites. So for instance, you would be allowed to have a single family dwelling, but you could also have a tiny house in the back. That could either be Airbnb or for your mother-in-law or father-in-law when they come to visit. It would allow you to pretty much have two dwellings on a pretty small lot. As of now, the zoning districts in which you could potentially kind of do this in would be your A1 district and your R2 district. You cannot do this in your R1 limited residential district. So he's requesting this as well to be added.
Because we want to set a good standard. I mean, we're excited that Mr. Patel's taking on the project, that's for sure. But in the same vein, knowing it's going to set a precedent for any other developers, we just want to make sure